Tripping. Oh, my eyes is so damn delicious. Just waiting for the chat to come in. Ain't nobody joined yet. Just started. Somebody. Oh. What's good, David? I had listened to you. And I joined. I started the live in school. This is my first school live. I'm gonna start doing it more often. I definitely should have went live yesterday. Birthday. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate that. I'm doing my homework right now.
Listen, let's go back to second grade. I tell you that a long time ago, I tell the student that, to me, they will give it to me. I'm in the second grade now, I leave, I'm going.
Hey, David, share love.
period, I'm not gonna be go back and I'm not gonna put the grade. No one gonna make me make the grade. No one. I'm not gonna add no grade because if you're coming right here, tell you the way you're missing, make sure do it, give it to me. And you sit down right here like a king, you don't do it, and I'm gonna leave second period now.
I should do it.
Bars right up.
I know you're finally grown.
But John, you feel
Crazy boy.
you finished lesson? Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Bro, what you think everybody doing? Oh, David, spam the chat. Stop. Wait a sec. Look at me. Are you going to take us to lunch? Of course, Brody. I'm finna be on live the whole day.
Why they put me in 2 for 3 years?
Not sure of a spot. First time supply.
No, they have to change that. They're not the one student. I'm having for.
With no sugar in the wall. Hey, David. Spam the chat. I got a lot of girls that I talk to though, but it ain't no serious relationships. Appreciate it, David. Back to follow. If it's a 7 now, in my imagination, waiting Appreciate it, brother. Does your teacher know you loud? Nah, she don't know. I'm pretty sure she don't care though. Show some of your friends. And you can talk. You trying to join the live? David, he talked about he want to see one of my friends. You trying to join the live? You trying to join the live?
What? IG?
Nah, that's YouTube.
That's YouTube? How many people that shit? People enjoy?
It usually be 10 people. The average is 100. You understand? Yeah, D. You talk about showing some of the people I talk to.
So what? This is live.
Yeah, that's live. That shit keep turning. I appreciate 2 people for liking. It's 5. I'm talking about the average. Like when I'm usually finished every time I start the live. The average amount. Not right now. You only say 2. Welcome to the live. To the second person that joined. Make sure to go follow David. David gonna follow you back. Yeah, I had breakfast already. Appreciate you for asking, brother. But I stand. Can't perform my toes in the sun. Sweating my soul. It's having a vision. What time does class end? 8:55. Don't look at the bell. Time gonna go faster. I miss your ways. And watch your face like a finger in time, cause you love to take me with you. This house door. Heart is warm. Inside this place is warm. But I start to pour. Coming down. Yo, whoever the second person is, type in the chat so I can make you mod. And also type in the chat so David can follow you. Fold back. What you mean, Brody? What you mean, David? Why you took the message back?
Attention students, faculty, and staff. We are now under a lockdown drill. Lockdown, locks, lights. Lockdown drill, locks, lights, and out of sight.
Why are you doing the lockdown drill if people testing?
The hallway.
It's slow as fuck. In chat. Like, scroll back. Yeah, I still don't see what you're talking about. Make sure to share the live. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. Fold in my chair. Brother man. Forget about it. Forget about it. Talk about it. This is your turn now. I like the fit. Appreciate it. Yeah. Check out these shirts today. Yesterday. Birthday fit. Type shit. This shit. Appreciate it. I ain't heard that shit in a minute. Yeah, immature as fuck.
Attention students, faculty, and staff, at this time, we have an all clear. We have an all clear. Back to business as usual.
Gee, green it. I like green it fuck. Both of y'all. Is it me? Is my things green?
Nigga shit green, nigga. It's hot testosterone.
I'll be right back. Alright, back, buddy. See you later. I might be tripping. Ivy, is my veins green? Chat, am I tripping? My jaw look green. I might be tripping though. Appreciate it. What's good, 67? Appreciate you for coming back, David. Hey, David, go make sure to follow B67. Y'all two follow each other. You about to go to school? I'm at school right now. I'm in my second period class. Dry cleaning. B67. I'm gonna call you B6. Yo, B6. David followed you. Make sure to subscribe back to him. Alright, see you later. It's gonna be a fire drill and a lockout. A lockdown.
Please disregard the fire alarm. Please
See you
disregard
later,
the fire
brother.
alarm.
fat packet to do in history. Finna get that done. I got, never mind. Gotta do it in my fourth year. Oh, I got that class tomorrow, so I could do it tomorrow. Oh my God, leave. What you mean, oh, leave my class? I know, right? Fire. I'm trying to go to my next period so y'all can see everybody that be outside. But we ain't doing nothing right now. Y'all. So, I'm leaving 5 minutes. This teacher, she don't be letting nobody leave early. So I can't leave early. Don't worry, 5 minutes, we up out of here. My fault. I said my bad.
You good?
Appreciate it for the third person liking the live. My low key fine. Hold on, my low key fine. Loading on my line. I don't really like this song like that. Do I got a crush? Nah.
Listen. Yes.
I don't got no crush. Nah, brother. What about you? You got one? If you do, I dare you to ask your crush out. Just see what she say. Let me know so I can help you. Distraction. What's good, Stranger Things? Appreciate, brother. Welcome to the live. And I want when I can't deal with all your love. You saying I'm the one, but it's you. Just that speak louder. Stranger Things, did you and David followed each other, right? So I gotta get on first. So yeah, make sure to go follow him. He gonna follow you back, trust me. Things and leave you. It's feelings all that I know. And let you get Rizzy in my school. Hold on, let me see. could get you right now. Like, it's some bad little shit. Good, brother. It's some bad little shit. It's actually 3. 1, 2, 3. Three bad little females in this class right now. And she definitely one of them. You gonna get Rizzy? Alright, I'm finna flip the camera. You gotta see who you want. You gotta see who you want, Stranger Things. I'm in it. Dude. Dylan White. Dylan Jair Alexander White. That's why D4. Dylan for the D. And I got 4 names. Gillen? Yeah, he trying to get Rizzy. Get right with my boy David.
How much you give every day?
He said he can't see.
Why? Come on now. I need to jack you up against the wall. Don't make me put you on that wall. I'm gonna give you that Keyshawn treatment.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know who Keyshawn is?
I don't know what that is. I don't know. Why y'all even walking this way? Y'all don't even have this.
What's good, buddy? You right. My fault. I'm finna see my dog, Caesar. You trying to join? Trying to join the live?
What?
Join the live. No. But you get rich in the hole. I'm trying to see there ain't no bad looking one. You trying to join the live again? Huh? Trying to join the live? Nigga, I'm already on live. Just a girl. Any girl again, I can't put you down. Any girl, I gotta get you right. Gotta get you right, bro. Let me see. Burn. Burn. I got you, brother. Hold on. Monster. Look, one of my subscribers trying to get right with you.
Get the
His name David. Get right with my boy David. David, she ain't trying to get right with you, brother. Oh, I love my little brother chunk. David on here.
What's good, David?
All right, brother. We finna go to class. What's good, Ronnie? We gonna play. He got his cards on him right now. Wash down these curves. Never learn. What's up? Burn. What's up? All right, man. Neres, what's good? You what though? What?
No,
This shit.
that's literally not how that works. Because I was fine until after, and I got my symptoms afterwards.
What's your real name? I did not hear. Dylan White. You got it, buddy?
I don't think so.
Big. Can't do that one, brother. Hands out to the fire. Good name. Appreciate it. Pray to God for some water to wash down these prayers. Sit next to a girl. I am. There's one behind me.
Keep playing.
David, it's all right, brother. You don't got no crush. You don't got no number. David, you don't got no girl number.
Who? Not your girl. She's gonna be with me. She's gonna be fucking with. Oh, but you forget he's known her longer.
Let me see. She, one of my subscribers say you beautiful. She said, thank you, David. Ooh, you finna get Rizzy? David, you trying to get Rizzy? Let me find out. Nice, damn. Get your mother on my face, I need that damn. My anxiety the size of a planet. Amazing, beautiful, I didn't see him. Yo. You talk to somebody? You got a boyfriend? She got a boyfriend, gang.
Hear me out like this.
Cause David trying to get Rizzy.
Oh, no.
She taking brother. Find somebody else. It's gonna be alright though, gang. Let's go. On my Gucci suit, I'm feeling righteous. It's alright, buddy. 5 or 6 pills in my right hand. Go to door on my nightstand. Taking medicine to fix all of the damage. My anxiety the size of a planet. Moves in my skull all the time. What it do, Caesar? Bro, can they flip the camera back? Jump tripping. Go ahead. Anxiety, the size of a planet. Gucci suit on feeling righteous. I know that the truth is hard to find. Yeah. Try me to you don't want her. You don't want her. Nah. Trust me. You gotta trust me, man.
Okay, guys. So I was supposed to be doing the ESOL test today, but we're not doing that today. We're gonna do it tomorrow, so it doesn't affect us. I think I will still be working on that test on Monday, though.
At lunch.
So
I got
probably
you.
won't be here with you guys. Okay. So I want to go ahead and begin the next unit today, and from there, it'll be pretty quick. We should be able to get through the whole like thing in like about 30 minutes. And then once we finish with that, I would like everyone
At
to
lunch,
start
buddy.
the homework. And everybody here should be able to finish it in class before you go. That way there's nothing left to do. I started grading the projectile motion homework that I let you all make up the other day.
I actually
Yet, but
I gotta
once
put
I
on
finish
my
with this, I'll continue working on that. And as promised, I was not counting late. Even though it was technically late, I wasn't counting late. Okay. So, the work that I'm gonna assign today will be on Schoology. Okay? So just keep that in mind. It's gonna be on Schoology.
I am David.
So, the next topic that I want to cover in class deals with energy. Okay? This is another big topic in physics. So, the first one that we did
Alright,
was
see you
talk
later, Stranger
about
Things.
the way something moves in terms of its position, the distance traveled, the displacement, the velocity, the speed, the acceleration, right? Then, after we did that, we talked about, okay, what exactly is making an object move to begin with? Which is where we define this concept of force. Something pushes or pulls
What
something
time is lunch?
in order to make it move.
12.
So we talked about
12:05.
gravity, we talked about normal force, friction, etc. We talked a lot about a
Nah,
force and different types of forces.
around 10:30,
So-
like 10:45.
The next thing is about energy. So energy is something that's kind of hard to define, but it is a really, really useful and simple way of looking at the way something moves. Okay? So I want to introduce this concept to you today. I want to try my best to define it in a very short, simple, and concise manner. We'll look at how this
So I'm
relates to
getting my
motion,
eye
and
vibrate.
then we'll look at specifically one type of energy, which is called work. Okay, so when I ask this question to any class, and I say, what is energy, in your own words, I often
Welcome
get
to the chat.
similar responses
We
from
should go
everyone.
follow David.
People will often say to me, oh, energy is something that cannot be created or destroyed. Oh, energy is the ability to do work. These are the two most common answers that I get.
And Stranger Things too.
And they are correct, I think, correct ways of describing energy. It doesn't necessarily define energy, but it does describe it correctly. But like I said earlier, energy is kind of like a tricky thing to really give a good definition for it. So the best definition that I could come up with was to say that energy is a quantity.
What's your
Like a
school
thing that you can
name?
count, right? That can be transferred to an object or from an object that allows work to be performed on it or for there to be heat. So we have not yet defined those two words, right? We don't know what work is, and we don't know what heat is. And we know what those words mean in English, but we don't know what they mean in physics. Not yet, at least. So today we're going to focus a lot on this word, work. Later, we'll talk about heat. But let me point out a few really important things about energy that we need to establish right from the beginning. Is when you have an enclosed system, the total energy inside of that system has to be conserved. This means, this is where the
I don't
idea
know
of
what that
energy not
is.
being created or
I ain't never heard
destroyed
that before.
inside of a system. Again, you can define that system however you want. We can say this classroom is our system. Inside of this classroom, we cannot just magically create new energy out of nowhere. It has to come from something that's already in here, okay?
Yep.
We can take an energy form that's inside of the system already, and we could maybe change it into something else, some other type of energy. Another thing that we can do is we can take energy and put it outside. So we could put it out the door, put it out the window. That's releasing energy into the surroundings.
I'm doing
But
my
if those
history homework right now.
But if those things are open, we are also allowing energy to come inside from the surrounding of the system, okay? So that's the way that you introduce new energy or perhaps get rid of energy. You put it out into the surroundings or you bring it in from the surroundings, okay? So we can transfer energy from objects within the system. We could also release it to the outside, or we could absorb it from the outside. And finally, we could also transform energy from one type of energy into another type of energy. Now, all of this seems really abstract, right? We don't really see how that relates to motion just yet. But this last one is really easy to describe how it relates to motion. Let me do my best here to describe that. So maybe you guys have heard of the phrase kinetic energy and potential energy before. So when something has potential energy, it is not necessarily moving, but it has the potential to do something, right? So for example, if I take this remote and I lift it up, we say that this remote right now has gravitational potential energy. Now if I were to drop the remote, it starts to move, and that energy starts to transition from potential energy into kinetic energy, the more and more it moves. And just
Because you
before it
gotta
hits
teach the
ground,
class.
it has used up all of its potential energy and has converted it into kinetic energy, all of it. But what did not happen here was that we made more energy in this process. So if we started, say, with 100 units of potential energy, all 100 of those units got changed into kinetic energy. Okay? So that's one way of describing it. You can do this on the
Don't be
reverse as
mean.
well. Let's say you have something on the ground and you launch it up like a rocket launch, right? We're gonna say this object starts with 100 units of kinetic energy, and as it moves up, it slows down, because it's going against gravity. And when it stops moving briefly, all of that energy has been converted into potential.
Gotta remember to be nice, David.
Yo, get off the phone, man. Get off the phone.
I'm not on the phone.
And what are you doing? Are you talking to yourself?
I'm on live.
Get off live there. That's still being on the phone.
I got you.
Okay, so there are 4 main types of energy that I want to look at. Okay. Well, technically 3, but one of them is like a combination of 2 of them. So the first one is, of course, potential energy, and I talked about this already. Again, something a little bit tricky to really define, but the way that I think of it is like stored energy. So potential energy depends on the position in space. So like if you are defining the ground level to be a place where there is no potential energy,
baby.
then when you're on the ground, you have zero potential energy.
Oh,
How do you gain potential energy? By going higher and higher and higher above the ground. Okay? The greater that height is, the more potential energy that object has. That's one type. Another type is called elastic potential energy, which deals with something that you can stretch out or compress. Think of like a spring. Okay? So if you define your spring when it's at rest to be where there's zero potential energy, there will be the more potential energy the more you stretch it out or the more you squeeze it. Because what happens when you let that spring go, it's going to try to go back into its normal place. Okay? So that's potential energy, stored energy. The next one is kinetic energy. This one is easy to define. Literally, if something is moving, it has kinetic energy. The faster it's moving, the more kinetic energy it has. Then, the one that is a combination is what we call mechanical energy, which is literally the sum of something's potential and kinetic energy. Now, it is totally possible for something to have both kinetic and potential at the same time. So, again, if I take my remote and I move it, right? So if I throw this thing across the room, I'm not gonna do that, but if I throw it,
sometimes I can.
it is moving, so it has kinetic energy, but guess what? It's also above the ground. So it has both kinetic and potential energy at the same time.
Definitely make it part of the plan.
And then finally, we have work. So this one is the one that we were focusing on today. What is work exactly? It is energy that you take in or release. So the way that we're going to define this thing is in the context of a force. So we've learned already how force is the reason why something moves. When you make something move, it's because you're pushing or pulling it. So the other way to think about it is that when you push something, you're giving it energy, and when you pull something, you're taking away energy, right? Like you pull something when it's already moving, you want to slow it down. So that energy that you put in or take out is what we call the work. Now, fortunately, the way that we calculate work is going to end up being really, really, really simple. But there's a couple of things I want you guys to think about. So let's say that I have
Don't always come back.
3 different objects lying flat on the ground. Now I'm going to apply force on these objects in 3 different ways. For this one, I'm going to apply force this way. For this one, I'm going to apply force this way. And for this one, I'm going to apply force this way. Okay? And in all 3 cases, we're going to say that the way that the object is moving
Oh man,
will be like this. So all 3 objects are moving to the right. The first one is getting pushed to the right. The first one is getting pulled to the left. And the other one is getting pulled up. Okay? So, here's how this is gonna work. Notice that both of these are pointing in the exact same direction. Okay? You can say here, in this case,
see you later, David.
that the force is the reason why this thing is moving this way. So we're gonna go ahead and say that this force is doing positive work. It's putting energy into the object. Okay?
Welcome to the chat.
Or we can say it's being done onto the object. Now, you can also do work onto the object the other way when the force ends up going in the opposite direction of where the object is moving. So in a situation like this, and we've learned about this already, what happens in this type of situation? The object is going to start to slow down, right? It's already moving to the right. We want to pull it to the left. We're slowing it down. It's like if you're playing soccer and you want to slow somebody down, you're going to grab them. You're going to pull them by their shirt, which you're not supposed to do, but people do that all the time, you know. But then there's this case, this one right here. the force and the displacement are perpendicular to each other in this case. That was a little tricky. So if I have, say, this calculator, and I'm holding it in my hand, and I'm moving to your right, like this, moving this way. Think about what are the forces acting on the calculator. We got gravity pulling it down, and the normal force from my hand pulling it up.
Gotcha.
But that is not the reason why the calculator is moving to the right. Gravity is not pushing it right. Normal is not pushing it right either. Something else is. So in the situation where the force and the displacement are perpendicular to each other, in other words, making 90 degrees with each other, there's no work being done in that case. So we got positive work here. We got negative work. And then we have zero work. Okay, so I need to explain something very, very important here when it comes to the sign, the positive or the negative sign. We, up to this point, are accustomed, we're used to positive and negative meaning direction. Okay? It does not mean direction anymore, because work and energy are not vector quantities, they are scalar quantities. They don't have a direction. It's just a lot of it or a little bit of it. But the positive and negative side does have a meaning. Positive work means you're gaining energy, you're going up in energy. Whereas negative work means you're losing energy. Right? You're putting energy out into the system, into the surroundings. Nothing to do with direction, only to do with either gaining or losing energy. Okay? And the way that it deals with direction is how are the vectors oriented with respect to each other. Notice how here F and D go the same way. If they go the same way like this, down, or the same way like this, left, they're still going the same way with each other, so the work will be positive. Okay? Similarly, if we have this situation, if we have, say, displacement going down and force going up, the force is positive, sure, but that work will still be negative because the two things oppose each other. Okay? And over here, as long as the two things make 90 degrees with each other, there will be no work done. Okay? So in the way that it deals with direction is only with respect to each other. Now, how do you calculate work? It's, luckily for you guys, really, really easy. Literally just F times V. So, let's say I have 100 units of force and 5 units of distance. It'll be 500 units of energy, 500 units of work, right? 100 times 5. So I haven't really told you yet what exactly is the unit for force, or excuse me, for work. So its standard unit is called a joule, Joule. Okay? So joule is the last name of another scientist, and so the unit of energy was named after him. And this is for all energy types. So it doesn't have to be just work. It's also kinetic energy and also potential energy. And if you want to talk about other forms of energy, like mechanical energy, maybe energy from electricity, energy, any type of energy, it's measured in joules. Okay? So again, your work value is positive when F and D are in the same direction. It's negative when they are in opposite directions, and it's 0 when they are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so let me write down that equation because it's important. let's take a look now at some examples. Okay, so for the first problem, really, really important to read the problem carefully to really understand what's going on. So this question, it says that we have a 1,300 Newton crate resting on the floor. How much work is required to move this crate at a constant speed? A, 4 meters to the right against a 230 Newton frictional force, and B, 4 meters vertically upward. So the key phrase here, guys, is constant speed. So here's something that maybe you forgot about, but it's really important to remember. Okay. This is what I wanted to show you. This is a totally different thing, but as you guys can see, it is a crate that is moving at a constant speed. See, the speed is not changing, right? But how do we make it move at a constant speed? By applying equal amounts of force left and right. So this thing is experiencing, due to the surface that it's on, 92 newtons of friction. So once we get it going, to keep it going at a constant speed, we must also apply the exact same amount of force. Okay? So that is also going to be true in the question that we're working on the PowerPoint. So if we want to make it move at a constant speed to the right, we got to push it with 230 newtons of force. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Okay. So here's the thing. To get this right, we gotta draw out the force diagram. 1,300 newtons here refers to the weight of the crate. That's the weight force, the gravity. The normal force should be the same because it's resting. The friction is going to go this way. And if we want to make it go at a constant speed, we got to push it with the exact same amount of force in the opposite direction. Where is this crate going? 4 meters to the right. And so it's this force right here. That's doing the work. Okay? So that's what could be potentially tricky about this question, right? Which force is the one that's doing the work in this case? So if it's moving 4 meters to the right, and I ask you, how much work does gravity do? You got to say 0. 0 work. Why? Because they're perpendicular to each other. How much work does the normal force do? 0, because it's perpendicular. Now this one will do positive work, wherever that number is, and then the frictional force will do negative work. So it depends on which force I'm talking about. Here is how much work do we need to do with this force to make it move that way. Now that we figured that part out, that's the hard part. The easy part is how much work is it exactly? So we remember work is F times D. And so we're going to just multiply 230 newtons times 4 meters. That's literally it. And you're going to end up with 920 joules of work. It's that simple. Okay, same concept applies for part B. We want to make this thing go at a constant speed, but now we want to make it go up. So if we want to make it go at a constant speed in that direction, we should pull upward with an equal amount of force that's pulling it downward, which is the 1,300 newtons. So the force diagram here will just look like 1,300 newtons down and 1,300 newtons up. Okay. Now, again, it's going up by 4 meters, and it's this force right here, this one. That's doing the work. So, how much work does it do? 1,300 newtons times 4 meters. Now, I remember this from my last class earlier today, that's 5,200 joules. And that's all you have to do. Now, next example. Same thing, but a little bit, you gotta think a little bit more. How much work does gravity do to make a 265 kilogram boulder fall downward for 2.8 meters? So, here's what we know in this question. We know the mass. And we know the displacement. You draw a picture, here's your boulder. This is where the force is going. And this is where the displacement is going.
And I'm so high.
Now, what makes this question different from the last one, and this is what I want you all to think about as you work through it on your own, is I don't tell you exactly what the force is. You gotta figure that out on the way to your answer.
Appreciate Hollywood. Hollywood life. Make sure to go follow David. David, follow Hollywood. Now, hey, Mr. Rachel. Mr.
Okay, guys.
Rachel. Tell me.
So again, I did not exactly tell you what the force is. Right? In example 1, I told you 230 newtons of force for 1,300 newtons.
Mr. Reggie.
Here, you gotta remember,
Mr. Reggie.
what is the force doing the work in this case? It's gonna be gravity. How do you calculate the force of gravity? It's the mass times the acceleration of gravity, mg. So we obviously need to calculate that on the side first. So our F is gonna be 265 kilograms times 9.8 meter per second squared. And this will be 2,597 newtons of force. So to get the work done by this force, just multiply the force, 2,597 newtons, times the distance, 2.80 meters.
Mr.
And so
Reggie.
this
Mr.
force
Reggie.
will be
Thomas Reggie.
7271.6 joules. Now, if you look at this answer, it is technically correct, but you gotta round it down to the right number of significant figures. This number as it stands is 5 significant figures. We need it rounded down to 3. So there's a couple of ways we can do this. We can write 7, 2, 7, like that. And that would be 3 significant figures. So notice I basically just rounded it to here and then I left everything else at 0. That's one way. Or, if you want, scientific notation, which would be 7.27 times 10 to the 3 joules. Or, there's one last way of doing this, using a unit prefix. This is 7,270. This is like saying 7.27 kilojoules. So kilo, of course, means 1,000 of something. So this would be 7.27 thousand joules. Now, if you're doing this for homework, let's say, you probably just want to answer that first way. Even though these are technically correct, these are, well, this one specifically is kind of hard to type in on the computer sometimes. So you can either do this way, or you can do this way. But I would say this way is probably the best way to do it. All right, that's it. So far, we've talked about how much work, how much energy does a force put into something to make it move or take it away. But the problem is that sometimes force does not go exactly in the same direction as your displacement. It's not always that your force goes directly where you're moving. So, for example, this is back here, right? And if I get down low and I push it right in the middle and I make it move that way, then it will be a force that's applied in the displacement, the same direction as the displacement. But I'm not going to do that. What I can do is this, right? And I start to pull it like this. Where's that force going? It's not going directly to the right, but it's going at an angle, like along where my arm is. So I am not doing the maximum amount of work that I could possibly do. But I am still doing some amount of work. So let me show you how this one goes. So here we got to remember something. Let's again imagine that we have our object flat on the surface, and now we want to apply force in this direction. Okay? Some random angle. Let's say that the displacement is going to go along the surface like that. Here is where we got to remember something. When we have a force like this, it has to be broken down into a horizontal and a vertical component. So the horizontal component is gonna go like this, we call that Fx. And the vertical component is gonna go like this. Fy. So if we look at those components together with displacement, this is what happens. We got Fx going this way, and we have displacement going the same way. Right? We also have Fy going up, but displacement going right. And you
That
see
was
something
tripping.
that's happening here. These two are perpendicular to each other. So it turns out that this does all the work. Because it's going along with the displacement. But this one does zero work. Because it is
Welcome to the
perpendicular
chat.
to the displacement.
I gotta be quiet so my teacher don't tell me to end the live.
So, to rewrite the equation correctly now,
Let's see.
basically it's gonna be the work is Fx
Let's
times
see.
V. So what exactly is Fx and Fy? Well, Fx is gonna be the force multiplied by cosine of some angle. Where is that angle? If you recall, it's right here, measured from the horizontal. And Fy is F sine theta. And I don't need to go through this whole thing again, but basically, we got those sines and cosines by doing SOHCAHTOA. And rearranging this like a right triangle, we see that this is the adjacent side and this is the opposite side. Adjacent goes with cos, and opposite goes with sin. So, in general, work is done by multiplying FD times cosine of the angle. Because it's only the component of F that runs parallel to the displacement that is doing the work in any given situation. Yeah. By the way, we can use this equation to prove mathematically what I was saying earlier. If you take F and D, right? And imagine that these two markers are like the vector arrows, right? Where this is the tip and this is the tail of the arrow. You have them pointing like this, they're pointing in the same direction. So the angle between them should be 0 degrees, right? And if you do cosine of 0, hold up. Let's go back to this real quick. I went back to sleep. So if you go over here
I'm making a TikTok video right
and
now.
you do cos 0, you see that's equal to 1. So you end up with F times D times 1, which is just FD. Now, if you go this way, displacement going, say, this way, and the force going in the opposite way, like this, the angle between them is 180, right? 180 degrees. So if you do cos of 180, you get -1. So there is where the negative sign comes from, right? And then finally, if you have, say, something like this, 90 degrees, and you do cos 90,
Oh, wow, I'm sleepy too.
you get 0. And that gives you the other one. That when the force is perpendicular to the displacement, it does not do any work. So that is the mathematical proof of this. All right. Coach wants to talk to me.
La próxima semana voy a poner a hablar otra preguntas todas raras. Esa señora friega con sus preguntas todas raras.
¿Qué es más homosexual, mini pica?
¿Y qué es tu clase de
Clase. Muy inglés, cabrón. No quita el teléfono, pero a la media hora no mira no te vuelvo. Ahora sí. ¿Ah?
Más un solo.
Después lo pone a leer y después las contestar. O sea, ay, yo solo agarro el libro y ahí ella no me enoja. Y agarra una jovencita. ¿Qué es eso? Le quitaron la clase de Quinto Periodo y al primero le querían uno. Le quitaron la clase de conmigo, a Quinto Periodo. Y la que tenía uno la pusieron en Quinto. Le quitaron.
Para lo que yo sigo en Jones, qué pereza.
Le preocupó en su puta madre. Y que se
¿Quiere qué? Yo voy a ir a la pared ayer, ¿no? Era mentira, ¿verdad? Son basura.
Ya me quedaron un pie proyecto, una nueva clase. Me dijo que me iba a dar tiempo hasta mañana. Pero graduarte de vaya mierda.
Para ver que antes de que se gradúe, no van a cortar.
No, Melvin, dame el cuento.
No fregues, boludo, cuando esa mano bien payaso.
Esforzarme más en el trabajo. Hard work. Trabajar más. Trabajar.
Se ríe.
Work hard. Perro, yo solo lo que quiero es hacer 2 centavos y ya, porque... Dale, pues, hacerme uno, Melvin. Hacérmelo, Melvin, no, pero se me engueiro, perro. No,
¿Qué digo, qué digo?
no, se me engueiro.
¿Qué digo?
Defendido. Es que mi culera.
¿Qué dijiste, Melvin?
Se me engueiro.
Semengueiro.
Este más es bien funny, este más es bien cómico, perro. Uy, mira, uy. Pésima, ya cuidado. No, una pullita, digo. Semengueiro, ya, culera, en Melvin, ¿de dónde
Mira,
sacaste?
González, loco. Hola, verán. Nunca falta esa señora.
Ya faltó.
Increíble, men.
Remonta. Se pierda, me llama el lugar. Oh, la verdad. Se pierde el perro. Llama el niño que salto ya de tierra en la mañana. La mierda siempre. Work hard. Vaya, Melvin, hazme un favor con el perro, dale, ya me decepcioné. Melvin, dile ponerte ya.
¿Lo vas a graduar?
Ey, yo
¿Por qué me quiero graduar?
Dale, Melvin. Melvin, dale.
No sé.
Sí, pero.
No, con mi mamá de mi hijo puta.
Se me quedó, dice.
Por los dedos.
Por loco, millón, por con ¿cuántas metas? 10 metas. 10 metas sobre
Yeah,
a ver, ¿qué puedo poner? Fútbol, universidad.
Okay, all right, so to wrap up, what we are doing today, basically what I just explained to everyone is that the FX part is running parallel to the displacement, and therefore does all of the work in this situation. Fy runs perpendicular, so it does not do any. So we will say only this component that is going parallel to the displacement is what does the work. Okay? So that boils down to this equation where we just take our first work equation and just attach a cosine theta to the end of it. So let me do one final example, and then from here you guys can go ahead and start your assignment. In fact, let me go ahead and unlock it so that you can look at it now. It's gonna be, technically it's 2 questions, but the first question has 3 blanks that you gotta fill in, and the second one is 2 blanks, so it's really 5 questions. But that first one is like, you know, within the context of what's in that problem, and then the second one is within that context.
Comprar un nuevo carro, pero es que es una neta mierda, Melvin. Pero yo para qué quiero otro carro, loco. Viste, dígame 10 metas. ¿No? Dígame cualquier meta, like, yo qué sé, dígame graduarte, no sé, alguna meta, una meta para mí. Un poco.
No sé, que te aumenten el sueldo.
Oh yeah, that's good, man. Trabajar. ¿Qué más?
Que no te despidas del trabajo tampoco.
Dormir. Yo por eso quiero estudiar y ir a la universidad, man, para no terminar como vos. Yo por eso quiero estudiar.
10:30, need to hurry up and come. Bro.
Okay, so for this last question, how much work is done on a vacuum cleaner, that's the object that we're looking at, when it's being pulled with 50 newtons of force, 60 degrees above the horizontal to make it move for 3 meters across the floor. Okay, so first, let's visualize what's going on here.
I can't go to sleep though.
So again, I draw my little box that represents the vacuum cleaner. Here's the force, 50 newtons. The displacement is going to be 3 meters directly to the right, like this. So how much work is done by that force? So again, we remember this. There's a X component and a Y component. It's only the X component that's doing the work. Okay? The Y component is there. It's not that it's not there, but it is just not doing any work. Okay? Here's the angle. That looks kind of crazy, but whatever. So again, remember this guy right here, does all the work. Whereas this one does no work. Okay, how much work is done? You gotta do FD cos theta. And so we're gonna do 50 newtons times 3 meters times cos of 60 degrees. Now, I know off the top of my head that cos of 60 is equal to 1/2 exactly. So if I do 50 times 3, that's 150, and then times 1/2 is 75. So this force is going to be doing, in this situation, 75 joules of work, and in order to do the sig figs right, we got to do 75.0. Okay, and that's it. Now this last question, you can do it if you want more practice, but it's optional. What if we are applying force with a direction that is angled below the horizontal? Does that really make a difference? Well, look at this. If we remember our vectors, okay? Check this out.
So I'm the one who's confused. You get that wet ass off.
Right.
That was terrible. Yes, you are. That was more sickening than I was.
I know, it's ridiculous. Okay, let's remember our vectors. So, in problem 3, it was something like this, right? The force is going above the horizontal so that it's pushing to the right and up. This one goes below the horizontal. But look at what happens to the horizontal component, the blue. It doesn't change. What does change is the red one, but that doesn't do any work anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's still being pulled to the right with the exact same amount of force, even though it's being pulled downward. So what does that mean mathematically? You would just do 35 newtons times the distance, which in this case was 9 meters, times cosine of 25, and you'll get your answer. All right, Charles, so that's it for today. Just to quickly wrap up and summarize. A force will do work if it causes a displacement. Work is the energy that the force puts into it or perhaps takes away from the object. Only the component of that force that is running either directly with or directly against the displacement, in other words, parallel, does any work. The perpendicular one does no work. If F and D go the same way, if they go the same way, the work is just F times D. If they go opposite ways, it's negative FD. If they're with 90 degrees to each other perpendicular, it's work of 0. Every other case, you can do an FD cosine. And of course, really important, when you're talking about work and all other forms of energy, such as kinetic and potential energy, they are all measured with units that are called joules. All right, so that's it. The homework is available to do on Schoology. You can start that now. If you finish it now, you got no homework for me over the week.
Welcome. I can't really talk like that because I'm not supposed to be live right now.
¿Sabes lo que me acaba de decir? Coach le dice a la niña, que una de las niñas, la mamá, la recogida. No, de mí va, la agarraron, la mamá la agarraron. ¿La niña está acá? ¿Se estudia? No, parece que
Hey, Mr. Rage. Oh, Mr.
Esa gente, o sea, el primo mío tiene papel, ¿verdad? Él tenía ese TPS. Ustedes saben que estudió porque él vino de Venezuela y ellos estaban dando ya. That's fine. I'll just look at your numbers and then you're right and I'll mark it. Entonces, creo que ya después de un tiempo le dieron el permiso de trabajo. O sea, el cambio integral. Pero agarraron, o sea, que esa gente viene y agarran todo el mundo, no importa si uno tiene papel, si uno tiene pinta latino o pinta inmigrante, te agarran. Me agarra a mí también, que soy ciudadano. Entonces, ustedes tienen que tener mucho cuidado por ahí. Lo que me malea es que siempre dicen, estamos agarrando la gente que están llevando a gente o criminales y eso, pero si no dicen que lo hacen por seguridad de los que lleven aquí, que no sé. Si nosotros somos los que estamos trabajando, nosotros vinimos acá para trabajar y o sea, integrar a la sociedad de este país. ¿Verdad? Yo soy un ejemplo perfecto de eso. Yo vine acá, bueno, me trajeron el niño, pero yo vine, me eduqué acá, hablo inglés y culturalmente yo soy estadounidense. Entonces, no sé. Pero qué lástima que le agarraron a la mamá de esa niña.
No sé qué niña es.
No sé. Me dijo el nombre. Diana, creo. ¿Será que está en 9? Ustedes tienen que tener cuidado por ahí.
Le va a salir como, este quito.
End it. No, not yet. 10:30, brother. Why you can't win?
Puta. Ven, ya, dame el iPad. Ahí vos eres esta mierda, loco. ¿Qué puede hacer esta Mary, dame meta, Mary, dame meta.
Ey, pero no es que te sacaron de Jones.
Simón,
¿Y eso es para qué? ¿Para qué clase es eso?
es para mi nueva maestra. Salí que el culo y le digo, va, vení llegando. Acá antes del proyecto, soy un culero.
Yeah, sure. Playing about that.
Y es beta. ¿Cuántas tienes? Ok, la primera es.
Puse universidad. Ven y hacerme un PowerPoint por ChatGPT, Melvin. Viste, él puede hacer trampa. Dale, Melvin, yo lo hice, pero no.
Haga trampa.
Dale, Melvin, haceme uno, Melvin. Yo te lo quiero hacer. No que sé, decirle a esa charla. En vez de que sea una película. Este más duro parece.
What is your
Y le
age?
robaron. Y le robaron. Le robaron. Muerto. Estando muerta. Loco, el número solo más grande. Gracias por ser.
Oh, what you
Por
got?
eso se cancela. Ya me
I'm
compró.
literally your friend or ready with the word.
Programa. Voy a poner soccer.
Oh, okay, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy because it's what you want class.
No, loco. Melvin, dale, Melvin.
gotta calm down.
A ver,
That's
¿qué
not
me
what's
inventa?
wrong.
Soccer.
But you need to
Ah,
like some new shit. Like,
loco, ¿quién puta quiere jugar soccer?
Moose.
¿Qué juego pueden haber? Una de mentira ahí, juego desde los 7 años, hago este deporte, quiero jugar en un equipo profesional, en la grandes ligas, algo así, ¿no? Ah, no. Ah,
you
no.
wanna get stabbed?
Ah, no.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Whoa, 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 nah. That's my dip on your shit.
Ese fue el tiro libre del Legend. Ese, mira,
¿De dónde?
No, no, ese era
Jackson.
No, el que hizo aquí.
Ah, te lo voy a dar.
A ver, mira, mira.
Pero fíjate, fíjate.
Hey, David. See you later, brother. Oh, you still here? So I keep going. It's the fun. It's good, my little boys in school. That's all.
Está cumpliendo. Está cumpliendo.
¿Qué puedo hacer? ¿Qué puedo hacer?
Don't worry, I'm finna be out of school.
Felicítalo. Ya le viste.
Trust, but I ain't finna be in school that long. I only got one more year. Well, I gotta go to college.
Yo, pero yo.
Vamos más, yo voy también.
Sí,
Yo sé que lo van a dar.
¿Y te digo de Venezuela?
Ah, no.
Locos en Venezuela.
Se puede dar. Pero los mexicanos no.
Ahorita,
Pero la parte de
ahorita en Venezuela.
Okay.
Yo no sé qué dura la mera vida.
Eso.
¿Qué reparten el queso ahí?
El equipo.
Fue en la academia. You were the sport.
Van a ir a hacer el examen aquel. Van a ir a hacer el examen aquel. Bueno, me voy a sacar.
Could you make it like,
We look like I'm careful.
you make it together?
Okay.
Seguiré esforzándome. No, seguiré
Te digo que fuera.
You don't have to.
para llegar a las
You know Matthew Brown.
grandes.
I gotta find Keyshawn.
It's fine. But thank you, thank you.
I'm trying to get the heart for somebody.
I'll be here next
He
time.
sent me a letter with it.
Alright, next class. Oh yeah, I got
Vamos
you.
a hablar en la escuela para el mismo día que nos lo sacan.
No, once you submit
Yeah,
it,
man.
you
Yeah,
get
yeah.
the document.
Screen 67. Good job though for the screen 67 class. You funny, David. You know that? You was funny.
Pelo.
What's her name?
Dame suave.
Not a clue, my brother. Not a clue.
Okay.
Not a clue. Dude.
¿Ya? Cuban Sport.
I'm gonna be the secret.
No, de hecho hay una academia que se llama la
That's
Cuban.
all my name is.
Ah, pues sí. ¿Por qué sí? Porque ahí fue a Ricardo y a Fed.
What's her name?
No, no,
Alina is a nice name. I like that. You're welcome. Where did I go wrong? I the line, carry that and how people stay here. You are
Quiero ser estado en una buena
how do you spell it?
universidad.
So the question I asked was yes or no, and I didn't hear a yes or no.
¿Para qué? ¿Qué puedo estudiar?
A-L-E-I-N-A.
Una carrera.
You know, it's not recording on you, you say yes or no, isn't he overreacting or not? What's wrong with you? I didn't do anything, I'm living in some world that are tripping over no reason.
¿Qué hacer?
I've never done that day in my life. Because she my girlfriend.
¿Qué tipo de arquitectura te gusta?
Construcción.
What? It's not what it, o sea, el estilo de arquitecto.
She's already mine. Bro,
Dibujar.
she's already mine. She's
O sea, yo
coming
siempre.
No tiene hay diferentes estilos.
Me gusta el arquitecto.
¿Cuál es un edificio que te gusta?
Y de
So Brian, I'm not listening. We agree
cualquier
like,
cosa.
you can have
Yo le
it.
meto a cualquier mierda.
It's okay, you don't have to worry about it.
Me olvidé de meter a
Or
cualquier
it can be
mierda.
spelled
Eso significa cuando aparece una
B-A-B.
A ver,
So am I gonna get finished?
Baby.
I do. All the work that I do. What is she gonna go back? Go back and go, what have you done? Remember when we
Don't
got
care.
Sheila Dixon working
I ain't
on
finna
it?
say it, but
Yes, no, you are not.
¿Cuánto aparece lo que pasa?
porque a mí yo tengo AT&T, ¿sabes? Ok, cuando sale Edge, significa que tiene 6 armas.
En un 5G.
¿Cuál tiene tu?
5 rayitas y 5G.
No, pero like T-Mobile, Verizon, ¿tiene T-Mobile?
I got reason.
Oh, Boost
I know you did.
Quit reading.
Y ahí a ti te sale Edge.
No, pues me vale la 5 rayitas.
Yo también tengo las 5 rayitas, pero no tengo señal.
5
Termina gay, loco, no entiendes.
5G, 5G, ¿verdad?
Claro, dice, por decir cementerio, dice semen gay. O sea, está obsesionada con la palabra gay este man.
Sí.
No te pongo a pensar, pero a grabar video.
Ya lo he dicho, pero no.
Perro,
Pero viene
pija.
diciendo esto 2023 y nunca lo hace.
Valía pena. No,
¿Por qué?
pija, te va a mirar, perro. A la pija, chavo. A la pija, chavo.
Ahí vemos a Melvin jugando con la selección.
It is
No, hombre.
15 more minutes.
Sí, va. No, me se vuelve famoso.
No, hombre, que me da pena.
Porque te da pena, no te da pena.
Ni
Si
le vamos a
mierda,
mostrar
que
la
te
cara.
¿viste?
Le voy a mostrar, le pones un filtro de voz, loco.
Que si le da pena a él, este es un sinvergüenza. ¿no?
Exacto.
¿Tú quieres que yo grabe? Graba video.
Sí, te pones un filtro de voz.
Grabe, pero grabar el video de qué?
De esa olla. Hablando
Le pones un filtro de voz, loco. ¿Qué cara lo va a reconocer?
No, hombre, en clase
You
real
do?
también. Pero en la vida real también,
You do,
pero no
people.
está puesto ahí. No,
very
vaya,
smart,
después sería
sería mi cosa, mi muñeco. Para los pies.
No, el teléfono va más o menos.
Es como Tito está rayado. Como Tito está rayado. Ya está. Mierda.
Your eyebrows are really-
Cuadro, loco.
Oh my God. So wrong with you, actually.
I'm starting to think I got
¿Viste el brazo?
That's not how that-
No.
Okay, yeah.
Déjase yo, mira.
Let me see your diagram. Like, see it for you. You have time.
Vamos a poner, vamos a grabar
qué puta, yo me lo bajo. Qué maldera, solo me arruinó mi vida.
¿A qué tiene el GPS?
3.7.
Eso es buenísimo.
Una mierda, ¿no? Tiene 4. Hola, yo le de bonito punto no. Y apenas tiene. No, claro.
Café lo tiene doble.
Graduarme.
I swear, it's one of white people.
Eso es un buen GPA. Seguro que César sale en el top 10% o top 15% de la escuela.
Si esta escuela odia a los latinos.
Eso no importa, lo importante es los números.
Graduarme con todo crédito. Graduarme con todos mis créditos.
Y tú tienes Harvard, seguro.
¿Por qué quiero ir a la universidad? Para llenar como mujer. Graduarme con
Not
todos
the-
mis créditos. Con buenas calificaciones. Y
Ask him.
Let me see. Yeah. You trying to join the love?
He is. He wants to be in your life.
You trying to join the love?
Matthew does.
People asking for you.
What?
People asking for
How would I stab you with this?
you. David, he ain't trying to join the love right now.
You're fine.
He said, let me see some of your friends. And he played football for the West.
dale, mami, es más, el lunes vamos a grabar un chico, yo tengo que grabar. Ahorita, Mami, ¿cómo que no, loco? ¿Vos sí que vos cuándo te mudas? Pero si vos no vivís a 3 horas,
Loco, ¿cómo va a quedar la estupidez de Melvin?
Can I make sisters back?
aunque yo no sé dónde es eso.
Can I make sisters?
No, luego no me quise hacer.
Excuse me, can you get my sisters back?
¿Qué fin este gordonazo?
Do you even have friends? Of course I got friends,
Wow,
but
baby.
they just ain't trying to join the love.
Okay, do it. No, you won't, because you won't
Working
your
hard
house.
y anyone do my best. Solo eso vos podés.
Why are you being so dramatic?
Se pasa la vida, Melvin.
10 personal squad.
The girl that can walk
Casi
there.
pierde el paso.
Personal squad.
Can I have a fucking sister?
No.
Matthew.
Voy a poner aquí César Baica. César.
I need it.
César.
Wait, well, okay, well then give it to me and Joe.
Valle.
I'll snitch on you. I'll snitch on you your girl.
Gaby.
Oh, look at that.
Oh. Oh, mire, ¿sabes qué? Por ir a una excursión de Army me dieron 30.
¿En serio?
I'm glad.
Simón.
¿A dónde fuiste?
No sé, a ver el culo a un vergazo de gente. Eso fue, no sé, pero. Mira, primero fui a donde Melvin entró, pero falló el penal. Además, ahí mismo tomé una foto, pero donde Melvin me puso ahí de frente al lado. Me acuerdo que, Melvin, aquí fue el primero que viste, Melvin, cuando fallaste el penal. Te estaba riendo primero.
¿Quién?
Vos.
Yo no estaba riendo.
Me queda viendo así, hermano. Me queda viendo decepcionado, hermano. Este más imbécil, loco. Fue el penal y me volteé a ver a mí, loco, porque yo estaba al lado de él. Entonces me olvidé y decía yo, dale, yo lo he hecho, pero yo lo he hecho, caray, güey.
Eso te digo. Eso te digo.
Maldito día eso, mierda.
Yo lo he hecho, perro, no me cae el perro. Y ahorita no estamos esta mierda, es más motivado.
Eso digo.
Y ese muertazo cubano.
Eso digo.
No, Melvin. No, Melvin. hay cosas que pueden perdonar, pero que un cubano te para un penal, man.
No, el hondureño,
Vos que tú no eras
Que un
hondureño,
cubano,
loco.
que un cubano te para el penal, yo creo que eso es retirada del fútbol, loco.
el hondureño casi.
No era hondureño, que es más loco.
Sí, a mí me cuesta hablar después
Yeah,
de
it
puta
is.
esto.
¿Te saludó? ¿Qué te digo?
Sí.
10,
Pero,
22,
Lo
almost
perdonaba
time.
por la otra que estaban peleando tanto. Y disculpar a los compañeros que puta,
Este Melvin no quiere aceptar que es un cubano loco el que le tapó el penal.
si a vos te decís un cubano,
Yo
no
la
acepta.
El antepenúltimo partido, todo el tiempo me respeta, Melvin, número 1, Melvin.
Bueno.
Perdón, mister, perdón.
Si no, ese es el cubano de ¿cómo se llama esta escuela, man?
El de Miami.
No, Miami Beach.
Ajá, es tu papi.
De puta el culo.
10:45.
Ah, ¿qué tal? Es chica.
Right, it's around 10:30.
A los 4, ni uno le pudo meter cuerpo a ese cochón.
Ajá, y una tía asistencia. Y
Esa
el
fue la
morenito
que
se metió ahí de
solo tenía que puntear a la pinche pelota y la mandaban al córner. Ah, no, ni uno.
Yo me quería caer a la risa, pero yo me mantenía la risa. ¿Sabes qué? Y cuando echaban gol, pues si me quedaba viendo también con cólera.
No, yo me estaba.
¡Ey,
Este man sabía que yo me estaba haciendo contra Lola. Yo no iba a meter gol contra más nunca, son locos.
Ya, pues dile, Melvin. Attention, Melvin. I'm talking with you, bro. Melvin, llama a ver, Melvin.
Hola.
Me quedaba viendo, es increíble, estos maes, hombre. Pucha, estos maes son unos imbéciles.
No, no,
Yo creo que me acuerdo de lo que están hablando. Fue cuando le cayeron 4 y se lo llevó a todo, ¿verdad?
Y que el mae solo medio la tocó y el negrito solo la cabeza y ya. Y ya, pues.
Pero lo que me molestó a mí fue que, ok, se lo llevó, pero ¿quién estaba marcando al otro?
Melvin.
Seguro, ¿no?
Melvin estaba con los 3 que estaban marcando al.
Ah, pero, ok, está bien, pero ¿quién estaba marcando? El otro jugador.
Oh.
Nadie. Por eso que metió el gol, porque nadie lo estaba marcando.
No, pero es que literalmente, miren, esta es la línea, ¿verdad? Del córner. Aquí literalmente hay 4 más así, esperándolo. Y el balón está ahí con el más. Y nadie le pudo tocar el pinche balón. O sea, todos lo quedaron viendo y el más envió el pase y después el gol del otro.
Tienes razón, Ander, pero también yo tengo razón. Porque nadie estaba marcando al otro jugador. Él está ahí completamente desmarcado.
Supongo que nadie se esperaba esa onda.
Todo el mundo estaba mirando el balón, eso fue. En vez de mirar su marca y el jugador. Pero bueno. Y a él lo tenía loco ese día, yo me acuerdo. El que hizo ese gol, eso fue lo único que él pudo hacer. Pero 1-1 él no podía cometer.
7 more minutes. No, I can't.
Si será el papá de Melvin.
Can't, brother. But I got in trouble.
Melvin es malear porque sabe que es verdad, loco.
Culero, el cubano.
Es malear porque es verdad, Melvin. Mira, que un cubano tenga de hijo, perro, el fútbol. Sí,
They stopped me yesterday. Top bitch.
Quise centrar, loco, y me agarró un dolor en la rodilla.
No, y
You're
que
gonna start me.
que íbamos 4-0 y le doy el balón a Melvin y a qué burro le metí. Y yo le digo a Posible, no, madre, ¿qué hizo? No, vos no hiciste nada, es que eso fue Melvin, maleado.
You trying to get me in trouble?
Se ponía a regatear ahí abajo, Melvin, loco.
Todo el mundo estaba arriba, loco. Todo el mundo quería echar gol.
Pobrecito Melvin, pero el día le tocó defender todo a Melvin.
Qué cólera.
Pobrecito Melvin, viste.
Es que el día de
Todos querían echar su gol.
Pobrecito Melvin.
Loco, a mí me robó una mano a mano, loco. Iba solito contra el portero y se me metió, lo que me quitó la pelota.
Para mis cosas personales, por favor.
So,
Melvin.
Bueno, muchachos, solo le quiero preguntar una cosa. Que si la pasamos bien. Jugando fútbol en la escuela. ¿La pasamos bien o no?
Melvin.
Eso es lo importante. Ey, eso, al final del día eso es lo importante.
Bueno, ustedes la última temporada,
Melvin, ¿la pasaste bien jugando?
Melvin solo pasaba disfrutando a pico.
Te da igual. Te da igual.
Melvin solo pasaba
no,
disfrutando.
la Pilar no está hablando de
No, vale.
Te voy a decir algo.
Hija también, pero.
Viste el Melvin ya está cansado.
Loco, el Pilar no está hablando de esta
Ya
temporada.
la selección, no un minuto de bajar el partido completamente.
No, puta perro, me va a tocar defender con Piccolo.
No, los peces nada me da una cólera.
Se ponía a regatear.
Loco, mide 2 metros ese madre, loco. 2 metros, loco. Y tiraba la madre pata aquí, madre.
Ya tiene hijo de puta la cosa.
Hubo una que él hizo así, ¿eh? ¡Pum! Le iba a tirar la pata que cruzaba.
Estos hijos de puta no, en serio.
Y yo le decía a Melvin, oye, loco, regañame así.
Pobrecito, man, hasta el portero quería, hasta el portero de Melvin.
¿Qué se siente ser Melvin? Pobre Eric, que se metió atrás.
Pobrecito Eric también, no.
No, perro, vale pija. Vaya, piche shit. Bueno, la risa de ustedes me demuestran que disfrutaron el tiempo jugando fútbol aquí en Northwestern. Oh my God.
Pero la mejor temporada fue la del año pasado, ¿no?
Sí, el año pasado estuvo buena, ¿no?
Ajá.
Estuvo buena, estuvo buena. Lo único que me faltó fue Melvin, ¿no?
Ah, no. Yo y Melvin solo pudimos jugar una temporada juntos. Cuando estábamos en 10.
Imagínate si tuviéramos a Melvin el año pasado. Porque ¿quién estaban? Los centrales fueron Kevin, Hansen, estaba Christopher y ¿quién fue? Y Alejandro.
Ajá. Y en el medio estaba Eric, Henry.
Y este, bueno, supuestamente iba a jugar allá.
Appreciate it.
Y de extremo, Ryan va a ir con los vecinos.
Lástima que no se me quedaba en el año pasado.
Welcome to the chat. Protect the person in the head. Make sure to go follow David if you didn't already.
Ya estamos con 11 para hoy. Ya. Alejandro va. Para operar o para
What was that?
Loco, esa operación. Si fuera
What you mean?
es fea.
That was my computer.
Te ponen la rodilla así y te meten un montón de la
Melvin, bueno, ¿qué querés ser doctor?
Melvin, doctor.
No.
Pero bueno,
Computer too.
si es mi doctor, yo estoy muerto ya.
La cirugía.
ChatGPT, how do I do it?
Dale, con la rodilla de puta, voy a estar jodiendo. Porque no vengo otra vez.
Alright, and there is. Alright, Caesar. What did the girl hand you? She handed me my charger. I was we're good. I was charging my computer. savings. Got a fresh cut. So. And we can't wear hoodies at this school.
She not here. Her lights off. So I don't know who the teacher is.
Is it lunch? No, it's been lunchtime yet. Good, buddy.
Go to Mr. G's room, get a computer. And then,
I got a computer.
oh, you got one? Okay.
I just gotta plug it out.
Alright. Alright, whenever you're ready. No, it's the worksheet without a picture on it. Without a picture, yeah. From last time.